Look at the terror on my face right now as I get drawn back into those nervous, I'm going to say, quite honestly, 3 days before my finals when it got very, very real. I understand how terrifying this gateway is. Everyone puts it on your shoulders. It's hectic and it's started. There's no escaping it now. Matric finals have already started. Families, not just the kids, are feeling the pressure at home right now. Late nights, timetable changes, maybe money worries at this time of the year. It really does kick into a higher gear. Everything can feel so big. The goal now is simple. Keep our teens steady, fed, and rested, and then, of course, encouraged through to the final paper on the 26th of November. You're almost there. Almost there. So this morning, we're going to keep it practical. A bit of a what to do today, this week on exam morning, so you can get practical yourselves. And we are joined by two absolute superstars, parent coach Laura Markowitz and dietitian Megan Pence-Clates, with some very practical advice. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Just getting up at this time of the day feels like, wow, okay, a challenge. Can you imagine going back into matric mode?
I don't want to.
I know. What was that experience like for you? Why does it hit so hard, do you think?
Yeah, I think that it's just there's such tremendous pressure on our kids, hey? I mean, we all feeling it, and I think that, as you say, the whole home feels that pressure, and it becomes all about this time of year, these marks, this...
your whole future.
Yeah, and we have to just try so hard to help our kids, as you say, stay steady and run the course, because it's a marathon. I mean, they've been writing exams for ages already, prelims, and now...
This is a continuation of last year, let's be honest, because I think they've grouped that to create that momentum. That being said, how do we right now lower the stress levels right here? Before I speak to Megan, let's calm her down a little bit. How do we get out of this? No, we've got to just calm down, but how do we do it?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is to take of course the exams are important. I'm never going to minimize that. They are. But I think what our kids are needing is relationship. And they are needing us to remember to connect with them. So to not make it all about the exams. Have you studied? What have you done? Are you not doing enough?
Yeah.
All of that
I'm still open for you to come and ask and talk.
Yeah, absolutely. So to remember to connect beyond the exams as well, to take the pressure off, and to remember that our kids do better when we connect with them.
For sure.
Before we correct them. So before we going, what have you done? What haven't you done? And when we connect with them and we look at who they are and how they are feeling and what they generally are feeling, then we're better placed to go, okay, let's problem solve. Let's think, how are we going to get through?
Let's work through it together.
Yeah. What are you needing?
Completely, and I'm going to say this. I say this in my household every day. Rule number one, don't panic. Everyone just calm down. You got this. But there are so many other steps that you can take once you've gone through this gateway to still be okay. So it's not the final line. Often it starts with literally what you put in your body to start the day. Diet becomes vitally important. Over this time, I made all the wrong choices. I just went for stimulants at all the wrong times because I'd painted myself into a corner. What does an affordable exam day breakfast look like? And what should it feel like?
No, that's a really good one. And firstly, it is important to have something before your exam. So it depends on every, matriculant. Some are a little bit tense, yes. But if you can have something, so firstly, if you're going to start your day with, you could have a bowl of oats, and that's very easily digestible. Add a bit of milk, maybe a bit of cinnamon, some bananas on there. It's a nice, easy breakfast.
Sounding like a breakfast, yeah. Okay.
And you can also have that overnight oats. Sometimes that's also fun, because when you do that, it's ready the next morning, and then there's no stress in 5 minutes.
It's not added to your list of things to do. I like that.
So that helps quite a bit. But if you're the type of person that battles in the morning, then something like a little smoothie might be helpful. And there's reasons. Yeah. Because it's, you've got a little bit of protein in there with, like, for example, your milk and your yogurt, if that's what you're putting in, a little bit of fruit, so you've got a little bit of, glucose or carbohydrate, and you can put in like a tablespoon of oats. By doing that, you're actually going to help sustain your energy levels over that time, and you're hydrating a bit.
I like that, because the brain is going to be working, and it's going to be burning a lot of energy. Unfortunately, most probably the night before, as you're trying to switch off to desperately get some sleep before that exam, and the brain is just not complying. How do we unplug? the night before? How do we get a good night's sleep?
So, you know, this one for parents to remember, because that's what we're thinking. How do we support them to get the good night's sleep? We want them to get the good night's sleep. We want them to be calm.
You can't force them to get the good night's sleep.
Exactly. I mean, you said it. We cannot control it. These aren't 2-year-olds, or not that you can control the 2-year-olds either, but you can't control them. So I think a good bedtime routine starts before bedtime.
For sure.
So to think about 3 big things, and I think to help that evening routine, you want to think about what you're doing in terms of movement, exercise, eating well throughout the day,
endorphins,
getting some sunlight. I'm
movement,
forever, much to my children's irritation, going, get outside, get some vitamin D. That's so to remember that stuff is very important before you even thinking about bedtime.
Because it's almost too late to suddenly kick in a routine
now
on the
sleep.
eve.
Exactly. And then very much mealtime. So to remember to sit down as a family. Still, while your kids are in the stressful stage, don't go, oh, we're just going to forego the routines and structure.
That's the anchor.
Anchoring for our kids and so grounding. And then thirdly, a big thing that can help with the evening stuff is keep the phone out of the room. So such a hard one, I know.
But as in life, I think we're getting to a point now where for healthy children, we're going to have to remove phones from bedrooms.
Get it
as
out.
a rule,
It's not going to help calm them. Parents start to get duped thinking, oh, they need the phone. Get them an alarm clock. They can have a light.
You can get up at 5:45 in the morning and wake them up,
They don't need the phone. It only adds to the stress and it's only going to disturb their sleep. So, those sorts of things can really help a bedtime routine.
And we know this. We know this. Don't go throwing the baby out with the bath water. Hopefully this is the right time to use that term. I don't know. I didn't do so well at school. No, I did all right at school.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Matric exams are here. We can't escape that, but we can do something about it. And we've got an amazing panel here to help us right now get practical and do something special. Now, Meg and I had asked to think about healthy foods through this process that are also affordable. Beforehand, breakfast, we know, vitally important. When we delve into the actual kind of business end of the day, you've got to have some snacks, some hydration. What does that look like?
Okay, no, that's really important. So firstly, you don't want to change too many things. So it must be familiar as well, because you don't know how,
Your tummy is upset enough already. Thank you.
Yes, you've got that anxiety. so firstly, the whole foods are always a good idea. So your pieces of fruit are great. So I'm like even taking a slice of toast, brown toast, putting on things like peanut butter to make it simple, a cheese sandwich, some eggs in between. Yogurt is always a lovely one if you enjoy that as well. And now you're starting to combine.
And yogurt's quite light as well. So
that's it, the easily digestible stuff. A tuna sandwich, for example. It's good.
I was talking about that one particular supplement that I will not mention. That's basically caffeine. So difference between having sparkling water with you and an energy drink, so-called.
I'm going to be honest with you. Out of all the things that are on the market today, one thing I need to say is when the energy drinks that have caffeine in it, they're not meant for children.
They're not for this.
They are not, and they're not going to help you. They're going to bring more anxiety into the picture. It's better to have something like a sparkling water. If you have the odd cup of coffee, not once again a big mug of filter coffee.
We're talking to the kids in the southern suburbs, who'd be rocking up at those coffee shops.
Absolutely, those cappuccinos.
Getting flat whites. Come on, man, you're 17 years old. Slow down.
Leave that for after the exams if you want to have it. So it's not going to assist you.
I always follow this rule of thumb with regards to professional sportsmen. They will only drink these drinks after they've exercised to put back in what they've depleted. It doesn't give you a peak in performance. So let's just be honest about that from the get-go. And this is coming from one of the most experienced dietitians in the country. Thank you for saying that. I'm going to put it on a T-shirt. I feel like rhythm is vitally important in the build-up too, but it's, as you said, a war, a campaign. What if you have a failure and you've got to get back on the horse tomorrow? How do we deal with that as parents and as teens who are in the battle at the moment?
Yeah, so first of all, I mean, empathy. So don't don't just dismiss it. Your teens come home, they've had an awful exam. Don't go like, oh, never mind, leave it alone. Let them have their moment. I'm sorry it's so hard. I know you put the effort in. It's rough to have a hard exam. but we want to help them move through it and not fixate and loop on the mistakes and what I could have done better and what I didn't do.
So this is not an anchor, and you need to have that mindset. We've got to clip that chain or whatever it is and let it go. Yeah.
So you know, what I find quite helpful is if they are fixating, give them the moment and say, okay, cool, we can talk about it for a little bit. Let's spend the next 5 minutes, but then it's over. You showed up, you did your best, it's done, moving on. And so really to help them notice what has happened,
Feel
but
it.
to
Yeah.
feel it, and then to help them get through it. Because fixating and going, what did your friends get? But what did they put? What is not helpful.
Yeah, because
It
you're just
adds
comparing for
fuel to
yourself.
that
Yeah.
anxious fire.
And it's really interesting, this approach. You've got to have emotion to drive the purpose for the next round. So you've got to have felt something to motivate you through the next phase. And unfortunately, control measures are not enough for a teenager. It's got to come from within. You've got to feel it.
Take some responsibility.
Yeah, I love the fact that we have agency as a teen right now to build our own action plan to kind of approach that. So what advice do you have for the teens wanting to approach their health and nutrition through this phase to get the most out of their exam? Movement in terms of serotonin and getting the body kind of active and back into the present moment, big for me. What advice do you have?
Absolutely. Just in terms of the whole thing of movement, is the moment you do that, if you're feeling quite anxious, it's a great way to get rid of that anxiety as well and to cope
Let
better.
it out the system, yeah.
And, you know, remember to hydrate. It's a very important thing. Sometimes when we are a bit nervous, we don't consider those, and then we get dehydrated, which also affects brain function, and, of course, how tired we are. So that's going to help. And then your sleep pattern, we mentioned that earlier, but that's very important. And then when you come into your foods, little snacks throughout the day are very helpful. So a handful at a time, if you're feeling a little bit of anxiety, is also good. Keep it simple. Don't look at, you know, incorporating very spicy foods and fatty foods.
Too much sugar, ever. We don't want the dopamine
Yes,
spike.
yes, you know, your cool drinks and stuff, leave those.
Okay, I love that. We've got a comment coming through here. Let's take a look at what Teresa had to say, and clearly carrying some baggage with her. Well done, Teresa. Learners need support, encouragement, and above all, prayer. If you know where your strength comes from, you are well on your way to success. God rewards hard work, but do your part. Study and prepare yourself. Eat sensibly, get enough sleep, keep hydrated, and stay positive. Believe in yourself and take care of your body and mental health. Trust God in all things, blessings and favor on this journey. I will say that comes with the confidence of someone who's been through it and possibly doesn't have to hit that gateway again. But draw strength from those things that do feed that, because this is your opportunity to maybe surprise yourself and do something special. I'm going to ask again, because I think the kids are going to be okay. I think they've got this. But in case they aren't, what are those red flags? As a parent, what should I be looking for while my child is out there doing battle?
Yeah, so always important to know if there are big changes, if you are seeing changes in sleep, in eating, in behavior, in mood, if it's really looking like there's been a real change, take it seriously. You know, talk to your kid. Show them that you've noticed these changes. Let them know, you know, I'm feeling worried about you. What's going on? So talk to them about it. What ultimately we want them to know is they are more important than their matric marks.
For sure.
And that is the most important thing. No matter what happens in those exams, and things can go fabulously well and terribly badly, there's always a way forward. And we want them to know that they are the most important thing. And if we need to get help, then seek help out. And there's always help out there. If you need to speak to a school counsellor, if you need to go see the clinic, go see a GP, go see, there's SADAG, the South African Depression and Anxiety
Brilliant. Yeah, I've
group.
relied on them
There
so many
are
times throughout my life.
always resources to help your child get through, and it can feel so all-consuming, but there is always a way through.
Completely. I'll speak plainly. I failed my prelims, because I was diabolical, and did really well in my finals with the right kind of motivation. Bless my poor mother who had to live with me throughout my teenage years. But the bottom line is you want to give it its due because it's a big, wonderful moment for you to prove to yourself what you are capable of. It's not going to define your life. It's as simple as that. But you do need to give it everything you've got. So I hope you are feeling a little braver this morning. I'm talking to the parents. Kids, you've got this. You go out there and absolutely knock it out the park.